Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you? I do have clothes on. See? Um, so I'm really excited to be with you. I'm so excited to talk about the topic of parts work today. Hold on, sorry. There we go. I think it's a really important topic. I think it's a really important therapeutic model to know and to start to incorporate into your life, into your world, into the work that you're trying to do as it relates to weight loss. Hello, Miss Roberta. So happy to see you. I am going to make sure I've got a lot of craziness in my house, so we're hoping it'll be quiet as possible, but who knows? It's just the way it is. Happy going back to school weeks here, and many of you have kiddos going back to school or staying home or whatnot. It is kind of a crazy time for many of you, as it is me, and I'm just happy to be with you. Good morning, good morning. So let's jump in because this is a really cool topic, and I do a lot of parts work around the area of emotional eating, self-sabotage, and looking at conflict. So let me go through what parts work is. It is a therapeutic model. I use it more in the coaching realm, but it's the idea with parts work is the idea that we have different parts of ourselves. And in these different parts of ourselves, we have needs, and they can be working together and they can be working separate. Now, if you look at the psychological model and therapists who use this model, they oftentimes believe that your parts come from your family of origin. So that's pretty interesting just to know. And but from my standpoint and what I work through, because I am not a therapist, even though I have my background psychology and education, I like to really hunker down in the coaching realm. Like, how do we use parts work to actually get you results for your body, for losing weight? And where can we use parts work in an area that may be tripping you up? And I see things that trip people up with emotional eating, with self-sabotage, with negative thinking, with overeating. We can use them in lots of different ways. And so, good morning, everyone. Hi, Kate. Good morning, Paula. So happy to see you. Good morning, Becky. Oh, great to see you guys. Good morning, Sonia. Lovely seeing everybody. God, it's so great to see all of you back. Some of you are new. Welcome. I'm thrilled to see you. And you know I do these every week. For those of you who don't know me, I am Marna Thall, and I do these every single week, and then I post them on my podcast, and I've been helping women for 23 years lose weight and heal their relationship with their bodies and with food. And I am so excited to be talking about this topic of parts work today. And I'm wondering if you all can see me because my computer just decided to die on me. So, I mean, at least I can't tell if you can see me or not. It shows that my camera's here. So I'm just going to assume that y'all can see me. And if not, hop on the phone and you can definitely hear me because I am on the phone. Okay. So when it comes to parts work and it comes to losing weight, one of the things that I want you to be aware of is there's a part of you that really wants to lose weight. And I want you to write down, what does that part of you want? What is she craving? What is she needing? What does she say to you that she's wanting and craving for you and your body? And I want you to really get clear of that because I know, and that's what I do in my free course. I walk you through how to create the thin vision and a thin identity. And then in addition to that, it's then important to look at, okay, you say you want to do something. And in the area of self-sabotage, you say you want to lose weight. You say you want to make a difference for your weight and your body. And yet you end up self-sabotaging. You end up doing the opposite thing or not following through or getting frustrated with yourself. Why does that happen when you keep telling yourself this is what you want? And you can feel that conflict. You can feel when you're in that zone, you can feel the conflict of that parts work at hand. Can't you? Doesn't it feel like it? Don't you feel that when the parts of you are in conflict? Don't you feel frustrated? Don't you feel angry? Don't you feel like your body is just not doing, or your mind's just not doing what you want it to? It's pretty frustrating and it's pretty difficult to navigate. So parts work makes it easier. Parts work believes that we can have these different parts of ourselves, and the more we work on these parts in being harmonious and working together, the more we're going to see the results that we want, the more we're going to get the weight loss, the more we're going to achieve our desired goals and dreams for our lives, for our body, for anything. It doesn't matter. It can be the fear of money, and yet you want to be wealthy, and yet you're scared, right? And you see this conflict, and so you keep staying stuck. And the same thing can happen with our bodies. We want to really lose weight, and yet you're so scared of what weight loss will actually mean for your life. And here's what I see a lot. Many of you, or I've seen lately, many clients coming to me and people that I've talked to over these last several months, scared of what weight loss actually will mean for their life. Not the results, not the end result of being lighter, leaner, healthier. That's usually pretty exciting. But there's sometimes this unresolved conflict in your mind about what you believe weight loss is actually going to mean for your body and for your weight. Like, is it going to be hard to navigate weight loss long term? Is it going to be challenging for you to stay in the realm of your weight loss results? That's what often gets tricky. So what I want you to think about is, when you think about losing weight and being at your body and your ideal body, are there thoughts about, oh my God, this is going to be hard to maintain it. This is going to be challenging. This is going to be difficult. Do you have those thoughts that come up? Like, oh my God, I'm only going to be able to have salads, or, oh, this is going to be so challenging because I'm not going to be able to go out to eat as often, or I'm not going to be able to drink, or I'm not. And those nots feel overwhelming, especially in the evening, which is when many of you find yourself turning to food and overeating because you're exhausted. And then you think, oh God, if this means I can't eat whatever I want, forget it. If this means, like, if weight loss means I'm having to give up something like food that's so near and dear to my heart, that's so important to me, then I don't want it at all. And there's this conflict. And there's a part of you that wants it and a part of you that thinks it's going to be way too hard. And the work that I want to do today is looking at that part of you that thinks it might be just too hard to lose weight. And really looking at, well, then you have the wrong model for weight loss. If you think it's too hard, then it's going to be too hard and you're going to suffer. If you think it's doable, if you believe in yourself, if you find simple, easy ways to start making a dent in your weight loss, you're going to see yourself achieve. And so I want to encourage you to look at, what have you been trying to do to lose weight? Is it too hard? Does it fit in your life long term? Can you do this very thing well into your 90s? That's how I remember thinking about this. I would think about my grandma and be like, my grandma do this? Can she do this? Is this something I could do long term? Because if it wasn't something I wanted to do long term, why was I doing it now? If I was going to change, like changing your mind, you have that forever. Working through challenges, facing those fears, having the ownership, doing the parts work, doing the work, listening to your body, all of that can be done well into your 90s to stay naturally thin. And you know why I know? Because I've interviewed hundreds of naturally thin people in all different ages, in all different walks of life. And that's what they do. They listen to their body and they separate their emotional world from their physical world. And today we're talking about that emotional world. When the emotional world and the physical world, like hunger and food, when you emotionally need food, you don't physically always need food. And that's when they need to be separated. And parts work, you start to look at what's the part of you that really is craving something. What's the part of you that's scared to lose weight? I want you to write this down. What's the part of you that's either scared to lose weight or scared to keep it off? Is there a part of you that thinks this is going to be so stinking hard? Then there's something wrong with your model if you think it's hard. It requires dedication and focus, but it doesn't have to be hard. Okay? It doesn't mean you have to give up all food groups. It doesn't mean you have to be sweating bullets for hours a day at the gym. It doesn't mean those things. But maybe in your mind it does. Maybe in your mind you're making it really hard. It's really painful. It's really difficult. And so no wonder you have conflicting. You have a part of you that's like, I want to lose weight, and a part of you that's like, it's going to be hard. And so of course they're in constant conflict. And that's frustrating. And that doesn't work long term. So I want you to, the idea with parts work is starting to blend these two parts of you together. So one of the things when I start saying things like, this is so hard, this is going to be difficult, I don't know if I can do this, I start looking at my words. I start looking at my phrases. Those of you who are in the inner circle, we're doing this right now. We're looking at how we question ourselves and the questions we use to lose weight. And the things that we're saying to ourselves matter. Because what you say to yourself gives your brain the direction of where you're going to go, whether you're going to succeed or whether you're going to fail. So your questions matter. The parts of you matter. If you have a part of you that's trying to take you out of the game because she thinks it's going to be way too hard to lose weight, it's going to be so uncomfortable, she gonna work hard to say, come on, let's go eat, let's go do this, come on, let's not lose weight, it's too hard, come on, let's do what's easy tonight. But if you can tell that part of your brain that it's not hard, and what do you need, and how can we make it easy for you, and yes, this is doable, and here's how, and you work with these parts, what starts to happen is you start to blend these two, and then there's no longer conflict. And you know in your body when you've just made that decision on something, maybe you've been like, where am I going to live, or what am I going to do for a career, or how am I going to navigate my kids in COVID, or whatever it is that's causing you all this stress. Do you know that when it's that stress is you bouncing the ideas of a solution in your head back and forth, and you don't feel resolved. You don't feel like you've made a decision. But do you know that feeling when you've just made that decision and you're like, then what happens? You just let it go. No longer are you stressing out about it. You're like, oh, I made the decision. Great. I know what I'm going to do. And when it's a decision that is in alignment with you, you just feel it. You're like, oh, yes, this works for me. This feels good. This is the right decision. Your body knows it. You feel it. Your mind can relax. In this same way, when you start working with the parts of you and you come to a process of losing weight that works for both parts, at least for me, when I started listening to my body, I was like, oh, I don't have to fight myself anymore. I don't have to, it's just like that decision was made. And in making that decision, all I have to do is keep recommitting to that decision. Does it mean that I'm perfect? No. Does it mean that I don't have overeats? No. Does it mean that there are emotional triggers? No. Those things are all there. But now I have a strategy to navigate and move through it easier and faster so I don't gain all this weight and struggle and struggle and struggle. I can quickly pop up a few pounds and go down. So it's incredibly fun and exciting to start looking at these different parts because they're different parts of you. And when it comes to emotional eating, one of the work that I do in the emotional eating, I have a course called the Emotional Eating Healing Experience. And one of the things that I do is I have people go through in that program the part of you that wants to eat and the part of you that wants to be thin and healthy and vibrant and feel amazing. And we actually personify those parts of ourselves. We say, okay, that we name that part of you that feels light and healthy and wants to be thin and feels energetic and beautiful. And then we name that part of you that's the overeater and the binger and that turns to food. And just by personifying them, we can start looking and asking each part of ourselves what each part needs and then how they can play nicely together, how they can work nicely in your brain together. And I found that when I make things too hard on myself, I resist and I turn to food. Just as a, screw you, I'm going to just do it anyway kind of feeling. The other thing I noticed is that the more I make things easier and doable for my brain, like, okay, Marna, are you willing to, instead of eating late at night, are you willing and just sticking your hand in the bag and just eating mindlessly? Marna, are you willing to take out 7 M&Ms or 10 M&Ms or whatever you want it to be and have them in a nice, beautiful glass dish and eat those really, really mindfully when your body's hungry after dinner? Yeah, yeah. I'm so excited to do that. I can totally do that. Yes. So that's the cool thing about this, is that all of a sudden I can let that go. I don't have to worry about my evening because now I have a plan. Now my brain can take a break. For some of you, it might make sense to go, okay, here's what I'm having for breakfast, here's what I'm having for lunch, and here's what I'm having for dinner. And you just lay it out in the morning because guess what? Now you don't have to think about it anymore. And for some of you, you love that. For others of you who are like, whoa, I laid out this plan, but in laying out this plan, it actually stresses me out because I see inside of myself, I want to rebel, then that's not the strategy for you. This is your brain, and your brain is going to do what your brain is going to do. And we can work with your brain in such a powerful way to get it to lose weight when it feels like it's not in resistance, when it feels like it doesn't have to fight anybody or anything. And the more you feel connected to that part of you, that I call her your inner 2-year-old. In my world of Thin Within, we say your inner 2-year-old, that part of you that wants what she wants when she wants it. When you connect to her and you don't make her wrong anymore for wanting food, for wanting to just play and party and have wine and drink and do all these things, when you stop making her wrong and you start looking at what she needs and how she can still play and have fun and party and have a good time, but maybe she can do that in a way that will also work for losing weight, you've got a winning solution. You don't have to resist anymore. You don't have to fight with yourself anymore. You don't have to struggle anymore. Do you see that? And do you see how cool this is? So I hope this helps you to begin to acknowledge and see where you can start to use parts work in your life very simply, to start asking each part of yourself, the part of you that wants to lose weight, What does she need? What is that about? And then asking and looking at the part of you that keeps self-sabotaging you. What does she need? What does that part of you need? It needs to sleep. It needs to relax. It needs to reduce stress. It needs, I don't know. It needs to have fun. It needs to play. And then when you start looking and working with these two parts and bridging these two, okay, how can we get play in the evening? How can we get play in the day? How can we get more fun? How can we socialize and be vibrant and alive and know that we're still listening to our bodies? That one doesn't have to go without the other. That's where transformation lies. It's so stinking cool and it's so powerful to use parts work, and I love it. And I love the difference that it makes for people. Just doing a little parts work here today can help you really blend these two parts of yourself. And then we can look at different, there's also lots of other parts, the overeating part, the binging part, you've got all these different parts of you. But for now, we're just talking about, we're going to put all of that in one part. We're going to put all of that and make her your inner 2-year-old, and we're going to deal with her and see what she needs. So stop pushing her away. That actually doesn't ever help you. And what I see most people want to do, many of you have done this too, right? You just want to push her away. Stop sharing. Stop telling me what I need. I'm just going to fight against you. You're saying you want to have fun and party. You say you're wanting this and that and the other. I'm just going to fight you. But instead, what if you just acknowledge her? Say, what do you want? That part of you that really wants to eat late at night. What are you wanting? I'm wanting fun. I'm wanting connection. I'm wanting play. I'm wanting sex. I'm wanting something. Then address that thing. And say, okay, are you willing to not have this food tonight? And in addition, we'll try out taking a lovely bath. We'll try out having sex. We'll try out some of these things and see how it goes. And you see, and you go, okay, that didn't work so well. And then you look at, okay, I'll get better at that part. I'll get better at talking to her. I'll get clear in my mind of what it is that she needs. And you just practice. It's like if you were going to learn how to play a ukulele, you would just need to practice. And in the practicing, you would make mistakes. And then you would find strategies and tools to make it easier and to learn better or learn faster. So it's the same thing. Some of you will go, oh, tried it once, didn't work. No, keep coming back. Listening to your body and honoring it. Oh, didn't work. No, you didn't work it for long enough. There are times that I see that some of you are just like right about to explode in your weight loss, in your transformation, in your body transformation, in the results that you're seeing. But that you're trying, you're going, and then you give up. And that's so painful to see because you're almost there. Don't give up because this works, this works, this works. So what questions do you have for me? I'll start reading some of your posts here. And feel free to ask me any question you have. I love that you all are connecting to each other. You know, it's so fun. It's so fun to see that you all connect, that you're all supporting each other, that you're all taking and loving each other up. You're an ENFP, Kate? Oh, I'm an INFJ. So we've got the N and the F same. Solution-oriented questions to help the parts balance out. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Great. Howdy, Miss Tam. I'm willing for my inner Slim, who is both excited and at peace about this work, to get to know my inner 2-year-old who thinks food is a self-protective device. Why? What is she needing to self-protect you from right now? if there's been trauma, abuse, that is very, very, very oftentimes the case. Our inner 2-year-old's trying to protect us. Okay, create a barrier, create safety, and we're going to do that by creating weight. But when we start really asking the right questions, what does she need? Who is she trying to protect herself from? We see that some of that protection is old stuff. That's your 2-year-old stuff. It's not your adult stuff anymore. And so we tell that 2-year-old, I'm an adult now. I got you. I got you, 2-year-old. I've got you. I'm protecting you. You're safe. And when you feel that inner feeling of feeling out of control or not feeling safe, it's then that part of your adult self to then let that 2-year-old self know she's safe. She's okay. And you can literally just close your eyes and go, you're okay. I got you. You're safe. Before we were getting ready for school, one of the things, my oldest, she always gets a little anxious. And she will think through everything. And she had a whole plan for how she wanted to get ready for school to start. And she got off track because my husband was like, hey, can you get this? Or do you mind doing this? And she was like, but my plan. And she was feeling really anxious about it. And so I came in and I was like, what do you need? How can I help you? What can I do for you? I got quiet and I became helpful to her. And then I just kept saying, are you feeling okay? Are you feeling more in control? Do you feel like we've got a plan for tomorrow? And I said, what's the worst that happens? You don't have the paper. You go get it. You don't have what you need. You write a little note to yourself to go get it when you have a break. It'll be okay. Do you notice, so in the same way, when our head starts going crazy and anxious, like that inner 2-year-old, right? Getting anxious and worried and fearful, depressed, any of these things. If you get quiet and relax that voice and relax that need inside of you and hear it, all of a sudden you're in harmony. Okay, I got you. It's okay. I told her, I got you. Give me a hug. I got you. We'll figure this out. I got you. What can I do to help you? It was very comforting to her. It felt very good. And we all need this, don't we? We all need that sometimes where we have partners or loved ones or family or friends who say, I got you. What do you need? How can I help? Oftentimes you hear people who are going through really traumatic things and all they want to hear is, what can I do to help you? Can I just listen? Can I just hear you? Can I bring you a coffee and just listen? Right? Oftentimes it's all we need is we need to get it out. And that inner 2-year-old needs to get it out. So if you keep saying no, 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 and you resist her, she's going to just get louder and louder and louder until you're fighting and you're at odds. And then you're eating or binging. And so listen to her. She has a lot of important things that she can help you with to heal your relationship with food. Write that down. Your inner 2-year-old is valuable in that she has a lot of different tools and needs and can help you lose weight. So let her in. Stop fighting her. Work with her. Becky, everybody's talking about their Myers-Briggs, like what they are. I'm an introvert, intuitive, feeling, judging. And judging is not like, I don't like you because you don't look this way. Judging is like, I need things very organized. I'm very clean. I'm sorry, I'm new here, but how do you girls arrive to understand all this? So, okay, so Sonia, this is definitely mind work that I'm talking today, right? So there's work that we can do to help you kind of get connected with you getting the baseline of listening to your body, We go baseline, we start baseline, and then we go deeper and deeper and deeper, learning about how your mind works, and then integrating these parts and these pieces. Okay. So I know this can be like, what? I thought I was going to talk about food. Well, we don't really talk about food like what to eat here. We talk about your relationship with food and the part of you that wants food, that's craving food, that's needing food, or at least it feels like it, how to navigate that. And so it's a really good question. So because we lay out a lot of this foundation in a lot of different ways, then we build. And so you're right. Today, I'm definitely talking more in this esoteric, therapeutic, high level inner game stuff. And I like to talk about all different parts, but this is sort of high level, like integration of these different parts. So all I want you to know for today is that you have a part of you that really wants to lose weight, and you have a part of you that doesn't. And she can get loud and yell, and just pay attention to that part of you and see if you can calm her down through your breath and relax her. Okay? Self-protection from bullies, old stuff that gets repeated. Yes, it's old. Are you having bullies now? Are you dealing with that now? So if you're not dealing with it now, then you know this is way old stuff. And so telling yourself that you're safe, telling yourself that you're okay, telling yourself you do not need food to nurture you anymore. You don't need that nurturing. You've got it. You have the tools. You are powerful and you're amazing and you are safe. And you have the tools to work through that need that you feel instantaneously for protection. Kathy, I love this. First, I trusted Marna, then I met these lovely people and learned to trust them too. We are all in this together, and it's a safe place to be. Oh, that's so beautiful. That makes me so happy. As a nurse and a home visitor, that is all I did for others, but I don't do it for myself until last month. I've never felt better. I love that. That gives me goosebumps of turning it onto yourself, giving yourself the time, looking at your needs, addressing those needs. That's what a lot of times our relationship or out of control relationship with food is really about. It feels out of control because there's something inside of you that's really just needing to have a conversation and to look at your life and to put some things in place and to give yourself more of what you crave. All right. Any other questions about self-sabotage, about you're welcome to put in your Myers-Briggs results? Yes, Miss Lizzie, you're an INFP. So yes, so you'd be messier and I'd be cleaner. And I'm like way J. Like introvert, extrovert, we're just talking Myers-Briggs. It has really nothing to do with any of it. Well, it does. I see why you guys brought it up. But I'm sort of on the cusp for introvert, extrovert. But J, I'm like, at least when I did it a long time ago though. ISTJ. Is it IS? What's the S? I think it's N. Is it N or S? I love it. But I love the Myers-Briggs. It's super cool to see. Me and Oprah, we're INFJs. No. All right. So I hope this really helps you. I hope you start to look at these different parts of you. I hope you start to see yourself. Oh, and it's Sonia, you bring up such a good point. I was just thinking about that too when you wrote that, is that we also have these parts of like, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a business owner. We have all these different parts of ourselves. And sometimes they get in conflict, and you can look at doing this work. And I really encourage you to use this work in other areas of your life, because if you use it here for your body, it's like how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's right, sensing. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you use it for your body, all of a sudden you'll see, oh, I'm using this also for my career. Oh, no wonder why work is going so well. Oh, no wonder why I just got a raise. Oh, no wonder why I'm feeling better as a parent. Oh, no wonder why my family's working together. It's almost like sometimes I use parts work. I use it almost as each member of my family is a part of the whole family, right? And so when we look to solve conflict, it's important to let each part of the family have a voice and talk through things. And that's just intuitively what I like to do, because for me, not that I'm blaming anything with the way I was growing up, but I didn't get, I didn't know how to talk through things. And I'm not great at talking through things. And so when we have conflict, especially with conflict, I just want to run. So I'm trying to teach my kids when there's conflict to face it, deal with it, navigate it, move through it so they don't have to hold on to it like I did and still do at times. Okay? So you can use this in so many different ways. But I hope for today you start looking at the part of you that wants to lose weight. What is she excited about? What does she need? What is she feeling? And then the part of you that self-sabotages or overeats or binges. What does she want? What is she needing? What is she craving? And then looking at how can these two, how can you put together a plan where both sides are happy? And you know when they're happy when you just go, oh yeah, those 10 peanut M&Ms in a glass jar. That's great. That'll work tonight for dessert if I get hungry. And then I can let it go. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not worrying about it. I'm not needing to binge. I'm not needing to sneak eat. I'm not needing to think about any of those. I don't want that. I just know, yeah. If I get hungry after dinner, I've got a plan for having some sugar, if that's what I want. Okay? All right, everybody. Let me just I think we all hold on to stuff. Sadly, the bad stuff is easier. Yeah, for sure we hold on to things. Absolutely, 150%. And what I like to do now, though, as an adult is looking at if I'm holding on to something, is it one, benefiting me in my life? And two, is there something to forgive inside of me holding on to that? Because we know forgiveness allows things to go and let go. So for some of you who may not love how your parents parented and you're holding on to anger and frustration and feelings of resentment, and it keeps coming, into your life. And then maybe you go, okay, what is there to learn inside of this relationship? What is there to forgive inside of this relationship? And then what I find is just going, oh, or what is there even to understand inside of this relationship? And for me, I go, oh, I understand that my parents were just trying to do their best. I understand that my mom was 22 when she had me. Very different. She was young. She wanted me to be perfect. Right? And she was doing her best. Am I gonna be angry at her forever because certain things she did or didn't do? No, she was trying to do her best. Let it go. I've let it go. And if it comes up, I work through it and I let it go. And I can do the same with other people, friends, whatnot. Experiences, traumas, abuses. Right? Some of us have gone through some pretty significant things. How do I let it go? Today is the 1-year anniversary of my car accident, which is kind of emotional for me because I've been through a lot physically because of it. I can hold on to the anger that somebody hit me and was out of control with their car. I can understand or look at, maybe was there drugs involved? Oh, did she really have a seizure? Oh, was she just being careless? Oh, did she look down at her phone? And My life is now different. My body and my pain is different. I can be angry at that, or I can look at it and look at it from this vantage point. What is there to forgive about it? What is there to understand about it? Well, my understanding is my health is the most important thing that I can take care of. My body and my mind are the most important things that I can take care of, hands down. It also allowed me to realize what is important, what matters. Thank God I'm alive. And three, it also allowed me to look inside my business and say, these are the relationships that I want. I want to have relationships. I want to be more connected to people. I want to be loving people up. I want to get people the best freaking results that I can possibly get them. And I want to do it through relationship, not just a product, not just things that you can buy, but then come back into the inner circle, come back into here, come back and do the 30-day challenge, come back and do those things. That is what the accident has allowed me to see. And this year has been a rebuilding because it's been an interesting year, because there are times where I'm on my back. If I hold on to the anger of the woman who hit me, what is that going to do except just make me really mad at her? Right? It's just going to make me angry. And it's not going to let me move on. Now, some would say that I'm still haven't moved on. It's true. I'm working through it. I get it. It's been a year and I'm still emotional about it. Right? So I'm still working through it. It's a process. It's a process. And I've also been able to joke about it, and I'm able to laugh about it, and I'm able to look at those things, and I'm able to also see, when you look, everybody, when you look back at your year and you go, wow, what have I accomplished in a year? Harley, stop. What have I accomplished in a year? I go, oh my goodness, I've accomplished so much. And so much of it I'm proud of. When I look at what I'm the most proud of, what I'm the most excited about, what gets me up every single morning is all of you. It's this. And to have that, and I was searching for this. And quieting my body down and quieting my mind down and being forced to do so allowed me to get really, really clear and have deep conversations with my husband about, are you just wanting to make money, or are you wanting to make a difference? And I said, I want to make a difference. And that is where everything has come from, in those conversations. But it was the slowing down and having these conversations and doing those things. That's some of the gift of COVID, is the slowing down, having conversations, getting clear. So with that trauma, with any pain, with what you've gone through, please ask, what's the learning? What's the healing? What's there to be? What's the forgiveness inside of this? And are you willing to let it go? And you may for a bit, and then it may bubble back. And you look at it, and then you have the same conversation. What do I need to learn about this? What am I looking to forgive inside of this? And you just keep going through it. Okay? Because we build these parts, right? I now have a part of myself that's been through a really serious accident. And there's a part of you, right? We build. Our parts don't just stay the same. There's all these different parts of us. And it's exciting to just keep looking at and letting go. I love letting go. Just keep letting it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? Thank you for the kudos, everybody. You're so sweet. But I share that also for you to look inside of your life and go, wow, there's been some stuff that's happened. There's been stuff that has happened. And am I still holding on to it so tightly? Am I white knuckling it with anger and sadness and pain? Or am I ready to let it go? Because when you let it go and you address it, it's not that I didn't address it. It's not that I didn't get physical therapy or now the shots or MRI and CT and all those things, right? It's not that I didn't address it, but holding that anger inside of me wouldn't benefit you guys. It wouldn't benefit my kids. It wouldn't benefit my relationship with my husband or my family. I'd be holding this anger in. Why? Why? There's no need. She didn't do it on purpose. She wasn't out to hurt me. The situation hurt me. I get that. Becky says, my sweetheart is eating in front of me. Is it wrong that I want to kick him? That is so funny. You are hilarious. Um, you know what? Sometimes my husband lays right next to me and eats in bed when I'm trying my hardest not to eat. And he chomps and certain times of the month, I don't want to hear that chomping or the cracking. So I just say, I'm going to go in the office and work. I'll be like, can you go down and eat that? So you can always ask him to go to a different room. I can't let go of my grief and sadness. Okay. So Paula, you can at some point, you might be able to. Here's what. Sometimes the fear of letting go of grief and sadness is that you're going to let go of your son or the memory or him. And that's more painful than anything, which you won't, of course. But I want you to think about being open to moving through your grief and sadness. Being open to moving through your grief and sadness, and do absolutely everything you can to keep your son's memory alive. Whether that's starting a foundation, whether that's starting a community, whether that's starting something he was totally passionate about. Okay? Because if you say, I can't, then guess what you're doing? You're not open to any other option. I can't lose weight. You're not open to the opening or the option of losing weight. And right now, you may not be open to the option of moving through your grief and sadness. And that's fine as long as you are clear about that. That's fine. Sometimes we are not open or willing. And then at other times, there's an opening in our life to say, I'm open to forgiveness. I'm open to the healing. I'm open because my son is gone. And so I can live in constant grief and sadness and pain, which you might, or there might be a day, 8 months from now, a week from now, 4 months from now, 3 weeks from now, where the day is just a little tiny smidge better. And you in that moment might say, I might be open to going through this grief or going through this pain or moving through this. And never will I ever, ever, ever let go of the love that I have and you still have together. Okay? But that's a very, very painful, I can't even imagine. But I just know in the power of words and how they affect your brain, continuing to say that will keep you from having the connections and love and healing that you are capable of having. It just might mean that right now you're not willing, and that is fine. Just like in the same thing when it comes to losing weight, you might not be willing. When you look at these parts and you go, that part of you that's 2 years old and wants to eat those things and wants to have lots of sugar, and I'm not willing to let that go. I'm still going to have sugar. Where some of you might go, I don't have sugar. I've made peace with that. I'm totally fine not having sugar. I still have sugar, right? We're all in this journey around food and our emotions and how they interlink together. That's what this is all about. I really like this. Look at it and then let it go. If it bubbles up again, then you look at it and then you keep letting it go. Yes, because we don't need to make it wrong. Like, oh, I thought I dealt with that. I thought I dealt with that accident thing. No, it comes up, let it go. Comes up, let it go. Now, if it overwhelms your whole entire life like grief can, of course. Then you look at, is there ways to get the support of other people going through grief? Is that helpful? Or a therapist that can give you that time to go through the focused outpouring that you might need to navigate through that. I want to lose the weight to like myself again. I should do it in his memory. I would imagine, and it makes me really emotional to think about, that anybody who would love you the way you deserve to be loved, and it sounds like you and your son were like that, would be happy to see you to like yourself again, would crave that for you, would want that for you. I mean, if you ever watch, I don't know if you believe in like afterlife or the medium or whatever, but like, I mean, could you imagine your son being like, no, mom, keep gaining weight and being in pain because of my loss. No, mom, I'm still here, just in a different way. Yes, it hurts like hell. Yes, I know you are upset. And yes, I want you to love yourself and feel good in your skin. Yes, absolutely move forward and toward it. And don't use food to suffer through this pain. It's not going to help. Write about it, talk about it, share my memory, share how amazing I am, share all of those things. Right? He would want you to love you up, to look beautiful, to feel pretty, to like yourself. What better thing to do in memory of your son? And just know he is there. I believe anyway. I believe he's there energetically, feeling, liking, connecting, seeing it all. And do it for yourself too. Because the most important thing, like Kate just said so beautifully, is that you are losing weight for you. Because you matter to you. You deserve it because you deserve it. You feel it, and you deserve to feel good. Okay? So we talked about some pretty heavy things today. It's not always like this, right, newbies? It's not always like this. I'm telling you, it's not always like this. Those of you who are with me every week, you know it's not always like this. But this is real, and food plays in to all different parts of our emotions. And so it's so important to do the inner work, because we have a stomach and we have a head for a reason. If we didn't get these signals of hunger, why were they given to us? We have these signals to listen to them. We have the brain that interprets those signals and goes, oh, I'm hungry. I'm not feeling very comfortable. Like right now, my stomach is going bazonkers. I'm hungry. I feel it. There's no way I could just not think about it, or I could substitute water or whatnot, but it's going to I feel it. When I listen to it and then I relax that hunger, that I was given that signal for that purpose, to listen. So keep listening, keep learning. I know you all are here because you love to learn and you love being part of this journey. So I'm so glad to have some new fun faces. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. It is a really special place, the inner circle. But we've got some really great places. So the 30-day challenge has a lot of really awesome, it kind of lays I'll kind of explain my company. There's a 30-day challenge that kind of lays the format of everything. It's 30 days, it's intense, it's fun, and people get awesome results. We talk about honoring your body, right? We talk about that in relationship to how to be with food, but we also talk about emotional eating and your inner 2-year-olds. Then there's like more intensive training. That is the home study course. That's 6 months long. And if you do the more intensive work, or you just sign up for the inner circle, this is what we do in the inner circle. We get together 2 other times and we do this. So that helps you. That's why some of these members, these women you see, are so tight. They've been working through this since they started the 30-day challenge in January, and they've stayed with me, and we just keep hanging out and we're working through all our stuff together. That's how it all works. So, and then there's been an April 30-day challenge, and a bunch of those women said, oh my God, I want to keep working on this, or I want to do the home study. And then they're here. And then there's some people who say, okay, Marna, I want to be a private client. Oh, and they're here. So that's the community that we have inside of the inner circle. And every week I come right in here on Wednesdays on my business Facebook page to say, hi, let's do it something here, and let's talk about something that you need. Let's talk about something that I typically take a topic that inner circle members or my private clients are sharing that they want and need and are struggling with, and we address it in here as a topic because I'm sure that many of you need it. So I love, love, love that. Yes, Becky, I know you are in the inner circle. But for those who are new, I think it's just important. That's kind of how it works. That's how we lay out things as of right now. And the next 30-day challenge is going to be, I think I said for October. I think we're going to be doing it in October. So I hope that helps. It's really, really fun. So have yourself an amazing, amazing day, everybody. Here's the one thing. Notice your parts. Notice that part of you that wants food. That is a part of you. Don't make her wrong. She's not bad. She's not your ugly stepsister. I don't even know what that means. But she needs something. She needs something. So listen to her. Take care of her. Nurture her. Integrate your parts. The more you integrate these parts, the less struggle you will have. You'll be in harmony. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can when it comes to losing weight. Stop thinking it has to be hard so that you keep self-sabotaging. You can integrate the two so it's much, much easier. And that's the work we like to do in the inner circle, and we do here, and we do in all these different areas, because I know that a confused mind or a mind that thinks it's too hard will rebel. I have that mind. And many of you have that same mind. All right, everybody. Start integrating your parts. Start recognizing what they are first, and then integrate. And don't make any of those parts wrong. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.